What's up, YouTube? It's me again, What's Her Name 68, with another console review, the Nintendo Gamecube. I like the Nintendo Gamecube. It's a really good console. It had great games like Super Mario Sunshine. Now that's a very good butt-kicking game. Sega made Sonic games. The GameCube actually had some Sonic games. That's just the Game Boy Player disc. I actually own a Game Boy Player. Here's a Sonic game, Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut. Sega and Nintendo are not enemies anymore. Sega's now working with Nintendo and making Sonic games. Let's take a look at the console. You got 4 controller ports. On my last review was the Sega Dreamcast. 4 controller ports. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 memory card slots. Memory card slot A and B. Dreamcast had VMUs, but GameCube just has ordinary memory cards. I'll show you. It goes in like this. I'll go get a controller to show you guys the controller. I got a controller. I'll show you the controller later. Here's a game disc. They're smaller. Oops, accidentally launched it out of my hand. The GameCube discs are smaller than a normal CD. They aren't CDs. I don't know what they are. They're just smaller than CDs. Let's take a look at the buttons. You got that nice GameCube logo right there. Power, reset, and the open button. One thing that I don't like about the GameCube is its open button. See, it gets jammed. Come on out. Here's its disk drive. It's one of those where the lid opens up. There's a laser, do not touch. You put the game in, like so. To take a game out, you just press on it, that button. And it comes out. One thing that's really neat about the GameCube is it actually has a handle in the back, so you can carry it around like a lunchbox. All you want, a lunchbox. Mainly what it's used for is just carrying it, getting a better grip on it. If it didn't have the handle, you'd carry it like this. You'd have an easier chance of dropping it. On the side, you got a vent right there. And on this side, a fan. Let's take a look at the ports in the back. You got, as usual, analog AV out. Digital AV out right there. You got the port for power right there. Ends with a normal plug, but the power source is not built in. It's on the outside, but it doesn't end with a box plug. They put it in the middle of the cord. There's actually some more ports on the system. That one right there is used for the Game Boy Player. There's one right here. I don't know what it's used for. I've heard that was used for this modem that it would attach. It would let you use internet, but I never got one of those modems. Never used the internet on it. Mainly I used it as a system to play games on. Got another port right here. I lost the cover to the Game Boy Player port. It's apparently this attachment that lets you play Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Colors, or original Game Boy games on your Nintendo Gamecube. One thing you shouldn't forget in a video game review is its controller. Here's its plug. Plugs into the front, like so. The GameCube controller. You got a control stick. It's much better than the Dreamcast control stick. It's much better than the N64's control stick. It's really comfortable to controller. It's more comfortable than a Dreamcast controller or Nintendo 64 controller. Got your D-pad. It's an okay D-pad. C-stick. It's used for controlling the camera on games. One bad thing about Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast is it got some bad camera angles. Got A, B, X, Y, start, pause. On the back you got a Z button, L, R. I also have a wireless controller. It's a good system. The GameCube. Here's its Game Boy Player. Got an eject button on the side. I thought I might add a little bonus to the review. Game Boy Player. Push on it. Game Boy Advance game comes out. It's a Link to the Past. 4 swords. You got an EXT port right there. I'll show you how it fits in. First you flip your GameCube over, take this cover off, fits on. There's some screws you can screw in if you don't want it to fall off. I don't think it's necessary screwing it in. But one thing about it is you need one of these in order to start up the Game Boy Player. If you turn on the GameCube without this disc, it won't even work. You have to put it in. It lets the GameCube know that there's a Game Boy Player. Great system. The first one I got was a platinum one. I got from Santa Claus on Christmas. And the very first GameCube game I ever played was Super Mario Sunshine. Awesome game. I hope Nintendo puts GameCube games in the Wii Shop channel. It would just be great if they did. So, bye, have a nice day. Hope you enjoyed the review.